Hi, I'm Dr. Chuck Betters. Welcome to Ask Dr. Betters. One of the things I want to encourage you to do is when you hear me speak on a topic here on the Ask Dr. Betters series, visit markinc.org, markinc.org, and look up the resources. We have many resources, and some of those resources will touch the topic of your question. This is a heartbreaking question. It comes from Judy, who says, I had a baby girl, Tracy, who lived for 9 hours after birth, but she was too weak and died. I didn't even get a chance to see her. I can't wait to meet her. I'm wondering if she will be grown up because she was born in 1979, or will she be or still be a newborn? Well, first of all, I grieve for you. I'm so sorry that happened. It's one of the hardest things for anybody to have to bear is a stillbirth. And it's sad that you have had to experience this, whether it was a stillbirth or miscarriage. The question is, when you get to heaven, will you recognize that this is the child that you had? And the answer to that is absolutely. But remember, when you get to heaven, if it's on this side of the second coming of Christ, we're all spiritual beings there. We're not physical beings. Our bodies are awaiting the resurrection. But we are spiritual beings. The moment our spirit departs from our body, that body goes to the grave, but that spirit goes either to heaven or to hell. So spiritual beings do not look like physical beings. Spiritual beings are the real you. They are the essence of who you are. It is what is created in the image and the likeness of God. Spiritual beings are what our bodies reveal to the rest of the world. In other words, we identify a person's spiritual being by their physical bodies or their physical characteristics. Like you're looking at me right now, this is the physical body, but that's not who I am. The spiritual being that is housed in this body is who I really am. And so when we get to heaven, we are going to be experiencing a spiritual reunion, but a recognizable spiritual reunion. We will recognize our loved ones. We will recognize Peter and James and John. We will recognize the prophets like Isaiah and Ezekiel and Daniel. We will recognize the saints of old, the saints of new, the loved ones that have gone before us. We will recognize them spiritually because they too are spiritual beings. So when you get to heaven, your baby will be a spiritual being. You will recognize that child. That child will recognize you. We tend to measure our recognition of people in terms of how old they are. Will the baby be a baby? Will the baby be 20, 30, 40 years old? Spiritual beings don't have an age. They do not have there's no such thing as a 12-year-old spirit or a 15-year-old spirit. A spiritual being created in the image and likeness of God. If they are in heaven, they are with Jesus, they are like Jesus. And when our spirits depart from our bodies and we are trusting in Christ for our salvation, we stand before God in heaven, we will recognize them, they will recognize us, because we're on a different plane now. We're on a spiritual plane, not bound by time, space, or matter. I know this can get a little ethereal, a little complex, maybe even cause greater questions, but that's why the Bible tells us our eyes have not seen, our ears have not heard, nor has it entered into the hearts of men the things that God has prepared for those who love him. So yes, you will recognize this child will recognize you. As to whether or not it'll be a specific age, the answer to that question is no. Because we are spiritual beings created in the image and likeness of God. I hope this helps.
Hi, my name is Melissa Weisenfels, Executive Director here at Mark Inc. Ministries. Thank you so very much for your continued support of this video series. Ask Dr. Betters is not meant to be a substitute for professional counseling, but instead is designed to extract biblical principles around the questions being asked. We encourage you to seek professional counseling if needed.